Suck it like the cute. That is a pro, isn't it?
What a pro, he's sitting
Just
like
turn it on,
that.
Impressive.
We're doing
Oh,
London.
look at that.
That's not impressive. It's warmer in here today, isn't it?
That's
Take all your,
Innit?
just take all your clothes
That's
off.
all.
Take everything off.
No, that will come. I think the way Faddy's getting himself into Nick, I think that will come in the next month or so.
When's that starting?
I don't know, mate.
Keep putting it off, didn't you?
Nah,
It's too cold.
I thought you got announced as Motherwell head of youth yesterday.
Wee Clarky.
But it was David Clarkson,
Yeah,
Is he in his Clarky in?
aye.
Aye, good on him. Good that he got... Whose suit was it?
Big Floyd suit.
So just like, taking half Alan Burns out here, Clarky, stick it on for a picture.
We were doing London, mate, weren't we?
Alright, you know what, so congratulations to David Clarkson. Not interested in your old club in the youth.
That's it.
That's how you made your living, came through, but he's not interested in that anymore.
You were pretty dismissive there, weren't you?
No, I thought he's were done. No, listen, David Clarkson, I played with him, brilliant player. But do you know what I even like him? An even better guy size, so he deserves to go into that. And he'll be brilliant there. He's been in there for a while. He's the best guy for the job, so well deserved.
Yes.
Well deserved.
So, where were you?
We're doing it in London.
How good
Behaving yourself?
No.
Sunny in London, was it?
Don't know how I never got jailed.
I was just sitting outside, don't take some baby. Some tan you've got. Some Scotland in there, mate, wasn't it?
Do you put on the fake tan?
No, just sunbeds,
natural, Dale.
Just naturally glowing.
Aye, we've all said it in the
It's your ancestors, isn't it? Where are they from?
Island.
Poland.
No, Poland. No, but my dad,
Estonia, innit?
Estonia.
my dad holds it a right good colour, so must have just come down.
Because your dad's arse is red, isn't it? Red raw.
No, but boys, honestly, London was it was brilliant.
A few pints for a parlour. What a hero, man.
What's a pint doing there?
We were for around, what was it, 6 or 105 quid?
So down.
When they were near it. But by the way, you know what I was fighting, boys? And we should get this planned today. Cheltenham's coming up. We should all go down for a day.
100%.
Cookham show live for the Thursday. No, we know the Thursday, we're training tonight. The Wednesday. We'll do an early Cookham show. Wednesday.
But you can go on the Wednesday.
Do you want to do it?
I'm not into the racing.
Forget the racing, Dale.
Correct, because I've went to the racing, time's gone past, and I don't go out and I just sit in the bar and just enjoy yourself. That's what it's about, and it's just the atmosphere. It's a party.
Race.
Just got
Guinness
tent, mate.
You've been to Hamilton races?
Village, aye.
Aye. Have you been at the front? I haven't out one. Just had a wee look and then back in. They just fly pat and that's it. And what's the point?
There's some buzz when you get Chester's a good one. You beat Chester?
No, I've been Chester races.
Good one, I think.
Who'd you go there with? A team?
Aye.
What team? Birmingham?
Went with Birmingham, aye.
Cheltenham's not far from Birmingham, is that who you went with?
No, it's... no, went with Everton to Cheltenham. Been to Chester with Everton as well. A few of the guys for Everton. Brilliant.
You get into some state.
We should put the pressure on the owners and to get us down there. Shouldn't we?
Owners?
Cheltenham?
What?
No, the owners, they won't go. But by the way, we're down there, right? Doing a wee bit of hang for this company and that, wasn't it? Now, honestly, lads, I think it's coming across now that I like farting, I don't. Right, I hate farting, I think it's disgusting, I think it's disrespectful. So anyway, we're doing a wee bit of shooting with the football and all that. So there's lots of people there. But I've read at the corner and I've let one out. But see when I've came back here, the mic's up to the woman's ear. She's like,
You've just farted in my ear.
you just farted in my ear.
Burst her eardrum, didn't you?
Mate, I was going to go on, but
You're getting away for a wee.
I just left to the light list.
There was blood rolling down the side of her face,
But honestly, I'm not like that at all, but she hated me after that, didn't she?
Did you
What were you supposed to do?
But see, any idea with him, right? So see, when you do stuff like this, you're mic'd up for the full day. So you've got your mic on.
Right.
He forgets he's got his mic on and there's people listening to everything he's saying.
How would he...
So when we're after, he's slaughtering the people that are...
He's walking back
they're sitting listening.
Oh, brilliant.
Class.
Brilliant.
Tell him what you had a good analogy, is that the right word?
Over there.
Depends what he's got to say.
About Anderson.
Mate, going to leave that for a week because I spoke to my mates last night and I need to confirm it with them first because the missus aren't happy with it, supposedly. Right. So I need to wait a week.
We were on the train yesterday, rough as fuck, and he came up with a thing about, I think he's got about Anderson back, how many years ago?
1991, that era, year before and after that era, and a few people will be getting called out of it. So next Thursday we'll do it.
Right.
But did you not fly down? Do you come back and
flew down,
train?
and you had to get, if you won, so flew, get a train into London, then train back, and then flew back.
All right, you flew back.
So your mate came, you played with Swindon, right? And he was sick. You've never told us this one. They you just won the league?
In the league,
no, but was it the one he get you in at 5:30 the next morning? Is that?
He got us in at 5:30 one morning.
Right, got you in at 5:30. Have you ever heard of that?
Right, daft. That's just...
Did you ever have a manager that done that to you?
No.
5? No.
No, that's
It was my fault. Remember I told you it was my fault.
you're daft to turn up.
I took a shoot. He didn't want short corners taken, but I used to hate whipping corners, and he used to put me on corners. I've told you that before. And I hated hitting corners, and so I always used to try and play short corners quick. So before the game, he's like, "No short corners tonight, Simon. They're weak in this area. Put the ball in." So I went and played the short corner. Dave took it off us and scored for it. So at half time, he's like, "If we lose this game tomorrow, we are in 5:30 because of you." Pointed to me. So of course we got beaten at 5:30, sitting watching the video of the full game at 6 in the morning.
5:30.
He used to say to, he's like, "Well, everyone else gets up for their work at 5:30. Well, why are you different? You just get paid more than them. So what's your problem?" When you think about it, he's right, isn't it?
See corner kicks.
But still,
it's hard.
Mate, you think obviously the game, we never got finished the game at 10:30, so he wouldn't have got to. Mate, you think he'd had 12 hours sleep? He was 5:30. He's like that, ready to go.
Man.
Crazy, mate.
you'd be alright now with that, wouldn't you? No,
Because I didn't sleep, I had back and I was fucked.
Don't start that.
The fat little piggy wants to play short corners. He'll come in at 6 in the morning.
No, because the corners, because all you see is them kind of whipped in. You don't see the ones that are just kind of maybe floated to the front post there.
Morton Gans Pedersen.
All the different ones. Driven corners and all. It's always kind of whipped in it, or else it's a short corner. You don't see that kind of variation. Because at times, I used to take corner kicks, and it was always, at times, just to float it into the front post, the big man there just to flick it on, or else drive it, but you don't see that.
But I used to always try and score for corners.
Just hit the goalie, did you?
Just try and score.
Score?
I've seen you doing a step over at a corner. Like that, the ball's on the corner.
I think it by a corner flag.
No, but this is my mentality why I've probably never made it. See, if we'd got a corner in the 90, I'd be devastated if I was hitting it. I'd say it was 0-0. I'd hope the ball went out for a goal kick rather than a corner.
I think there's a lot of people like that.
Because I'd be, I'm going to fuck this up. That's what you think?
Oh, no.
That's a shit mentality, innit? And probably because I knew he'd go off his tits if I never...
I watched something. I watched something last night. It wasn't corner kicks. It was your old friend Souness. It was a wee documentary about him, and it was a European Cup final against AS Roma earlier. I didn't realise his penalty. He drove it into the top corner. Now when you go to drive it, and he put it right in the top corner. Now sometimes you go the side foot safety or whip it a wee bit more safe. Just drove it. I didn't realise that right into the... Take some balls out, by the way.
I'm surprised he never passed it back to the goalie for the penalty.
Pick it up.
Seen that clip, mate? The clip I'm passing it. Remember he could do pass backs?
Aye.
He's got the ball in the halfway line, mate.
Did you know?
He just turns, mate, and just fucks it back to his end goal, and he catches the ball. What a farce!
Did you not play when you were younger? You should do pass backs, no?
Nah.
Some of the goals he scored were phenomenal.
90 I done it at primary school.
Mate, anybody that won a league playing that should have their medals taken off them.
That's why they changed it, wasn't it? Because they used to goalie roll it out, they'd pass
play it back and pick it up again.
Just keep doing it.
But what should be extinct for that rule was in? Any records that stood? You never played the Rangers, mate.
What about all the good goals?
I never played.
What about all the good goals?
I know, mate, but that someone in the build-up would have been passing back to the goalie and I'm picking it up.
That is terrible.
So I'm sorry to say, mate, your career never happened.
That's a terrible take.
And then you talk about
mate, that's fucking mental. That's not football.
That was extinct.
Remember that goal last night, Faddy? The Man City the keeper tries to play it. You see it? No, there's a time and a place.
I know, but what I'm going to say is,
I know
that one mistake, they've scored hundreds of goals doing it.
Aye.
He changes his mind, doesn't he? He's going to play to Stones, and then he just kind of...
He actually has a go at Stones, Faddy, didn't he?
Just at the corner of his eye. Plays it and then he goes.
He has a go at Stones.
There, mate. He's not getting it.
Am I being harsh? I think Rodri can do better. Didn't he play first time? Can he not? He's a 6'2" man.
I thought it was a
can he not hold the guy off?
I thought it was a poor pass. No. I thought the keeper shouldn't have been blaming him.
He could have just
played it back. Exactly. He picked it up.
Like we went to Pep Guardiola's.
You look a wee bit like Pep, did you?
You look Pep.
Not at all.
You do, mate.
Did you see his interview?
Just baldy. The only thing I've got in common with Pep is we're baldy.
No, he's got loads of lines on his head as well.
Oh, cheers, aye.
You wondered if he's starting to get the accent, the boys?
I think he is. I think
Like going for the fans and all, innit?
Well,
they shouldn't have been booed off at half time.
That's Man City fans. Hand your tickets back. Hand your season books back.
I was actually laughing when the second goal went in because Spurs offered nothing. And they're 2-0 up at half time. And then a few boos ring out and you're thinking, and he was spot on. They were booing the result, not the performance. But how many times this season alone, I think they've come back 3 or 4 times for 2-0 down and won the game. They done it last year to win the league. 2-0 down to Villa, come back and won it. Yeah. So they must be used to getting a reaction at half time off the manager.
Imagine booing that team to.
Wait, what did they do before? Pep came in?
We Brian Kidd had them 4-4-2, didn't he?
Who was the
Keegan?
Paul Dickoff was in and all, wasn't he?
You could
Paul Dickoff.
He was a good player. He
Was Dickoff good?
he could still play in this Man City team now.
I think so.
He was a terrier as well, wasn't he?
He was
And he could
like
buy.
nuts. He'd go and
Gibbet smashing people.
only wee. You might be taller than him actually. He'd go and smash
Therefore, I'm taller. I'll play against him.
Aye.
Smashed them.
Bosh them a
And
bit.
this is a centre forward. He loved that.
He thought he was a hard man until I bashed him a bit.
He's a fullback. Got to hit it up the line.
And then he just come in and that's good
You all
timing.
thought he was hard.
When you went to know?
I played against him at Leeds. He was at Leeds.
He went in his shell with you, didn't
I came on for Leeds. I went right into each shell.
Dickoff.
he? You bossed him a bit, didn't you, mate?
Boss to be man a bit. Right, you need to mention Grove next week. I forgot about him last Monday.
Shocking that for you. Obviously, Faddy, you know the greatest deal in the world. It's double the odds for now, saying it's with your first £10 bet.
I can't believe you still need to read that.
I still don't know it. Jane, I actually don't. Sign up at gsport.com/open.
What about the weather? I didn't to ask you, so I said on the podcast, have you got a smart meter?
No, but
How much do you do?
Don't know, I don't. My missus
don't
deals
like
with
So
all that.
I don't watch your telly anymore, I just watch your smart meter. Sit with my dinner, saying, nah, it's not. How's that went up?
my mum and dad's got one. And my dad's obsessed with it.
So, man, mate.
So he is. He doesn't know that sometimes he got in his garage there's a punch bag and all that, a few weights and a few other wee things and all that. He doesn't know that I get into the garage and put the heater on full bung, by the way. When they're sitting in the living room, I'm in the garage. That wee meter will be going I'm costing him an absolute fortune. He thinks it's a kettle. So he does.
The kettle is the dearest thing in the world.
And he
mate.
mentions the kettle with me.
Mate, see when you put your kettle on, so it's a green light on your smart meter. As soon as you go,
It just goes
orange and it just goes, fuck you.
No.
Pound.
My wee boy has about 20 cups of tea a day.
Same here. Same here.
Ban that.
I'm just taking cups of tea with the hot. I just let the hot water run
That's
for
what
about 5 seconds.
My dad was mentioning my dad was mentioning the kettle.
Mate, it's
you know
crazy.
about that? And then he doesn't know that I'm in that garage with that heater. It's a big heater, it's bigger than that, a big massive thing. I've got it on full bung.
Obviously, when I'm there, it's like fucking Blackpool illuminations in my house because I tell them to sit in the dark now. So when I'm not there, I've obviously got the lights on me. I came in last night, tired, looked at the meter, 22 quid for the day, mate. Mate, how is that sustainable?
Hold on a minute.
22 quid.
Wait a minute.
My house was
How much was your round in London?
120.
How many rounds you buy?
Correct. Faddy, absolutely, bro.
That's enjoying yourself. That's what you should be spending money on.
You're just sitting there on jackets, hats, gloves like that.
You're alright in London,
My dad doesn't let us put it on.
Another round bar, man.
Stuff through. 105 quid. There's another one. That's
a great point.
Put a light on. Do you know about that with your talk, George?
Did the makeup with the lights on.
Try to find stuff.
It's done, yes. That's a great point.
Do you know what you need in this weather to keep you warm? Jim's big hairy arse.
Oh, aye. He's no worries.
He's not put heat on all year, has he?
Everybody curries under that hairy arse, by the way. They get a heat. Sorry.
He doesn't need to put the seats on in the motor, does he?
No. If he was sitting here to be elevated another fucking feet or two. They need to keep him tapping it.
Look, his arse.
Aye, that hair in the side.
Need to trim that, didn't he?
Oh, aye. It grows like nobody's business.
You check it all the time, man.
Well, it's suit everywhere. Like his jeans.
hanging at the back of his jeans. Hanging at the back of his jeans.
To anybody,
Can
how you
you-
doing, mate? All right?
Imagine
You still got a hairy arse, aye? You keeping that in check?
You're in trouble tonight, innit, when this comes out.
nah, Jim accepts it. He's
I seen it was Carol's other birthday, brother's birthday, Danny, as well.
aye.
Keep up to date with Carol's ongoings on Facebook.
Oh, by the what is the other one? No Facebook. There's what's the other one used to?
Tinder.
No. Instagram. Aye, or something like that.
You're on that?
I'm on it, but I'm not.
Right.
Because I don't know who put me on it. But last night in the house, Carol was saying she was reading out stuff. I'm going, I don't even go on that. I don't even. So apologies to any the guys.
You all followed and you never followed us back.
I don't. I'm not on it. So it's one of the boys must be putting stuff out. I don't know. So I apologise. I'm not. If I don't get back to you, because it's not my fault. Somebody's put me on it and nothing to do with me.
All right, mate.
So,
We move on to the football.
We're going to talk about. Do you want to talk about football?
If you want.
How damaging? How damaging was it for Aberdeen's quest to finish third?
Quest is it? You're calling it a quest?
Hearts were always going to finish third. Hearts were far and away going to finish third. They had a tough start to the season, the amount of European games, injuries, and teams going to put any distance between them. Hearts were always going to be, they're by far the best team out with Celtic and Rangers.
What happened to Aberdeen? Obviously, we were down there, so we never got to see.
4-0 down in the first half, is it?
Yeah,
I mean, that's no.
Individual errors are just all over the place, or what?
I didn't see the game. I was at the Kilmarnock Rangers game, so I didn't see it. But 5-0 to... I've had some bad doings at football, but that's a team that they've spent quite a bit of money to try and catch.
Aye.
And to lose 5-0. Big game coming up on Monday as well in the Scottish Cup.
Aye.
Darvel.
It's the last place you want to be going, mate.
And who are no bad.
Darvel, good team.
Aye.
But just the feeling going into it. I know that you look and say, right, you need to motivate yourself, you've got a chance to bounce back. But some players will look at it and say, we can't get beat after Darvel. We can't get beat, and that just heaps me a pressure.
That isn't the game you want, is it? After
How can they go for the heights of what they hit against Rangers and the way they played to that on Wednesday night? And there's no excuse because you know what you're getting at Tynecastle. You're going up against a good Heart side, Faddy's talking about, under the light, brilliant atmosphere. How are you not up for that? How are you not at it?
have you seen the goals?
Saw the goals. I mean, I loved it. I loved the one that Sibic just drives it, and it's Smith's first touch is absolutely brilliant. Curls it in. Brilliant goals. But defensively, and not just defensively, you know, an Aberdeen side shouldn't have been beat 5-0. That's what Jim's 11 months into that job, and he spent a few bob, some good players and good wages up there. You're looking for better, and they fans I know that travel with other shit, by the way. I think they deserve a wee bit better, but I was kept coming through. I'm watching the game you were working at, you know, and it kept 2-0, 3-0, and you're going, what's going on there, you know, and I think is it. But no, it was well deserved as well.
I can't even remember Jim Goodwin's St Mirren team getting a doing like that. They were quite good defensively, weren't they? St Mirren team.
They were very good defensively.
Aye.
So is it the players that you need to lay blame it? Because he'll obviously be doing the same things he was doing at St Mirren, won't he? Same methods, same ideas.
Being defensive and organised and hard to beat for St Mirren.
I get what you're saying. So you maybe need to be a bit more proactive as Aberdeen manager.
They don't want to. The fans don't want to see their team going to Tynecastle and sitting in and saying, basically saying they're better than us. I think Hearts are a better team. I think they've got a better squad, better players all round. But when you're Aberdeen, you need to say we're better than you. You need to have that confidence to say we're going to go. And look, they lost the game at the weekend. Is that part of it? Well, see if it is. You need to deal with disappointment. You need to deal with going to semi-finals and no winning, and then going back to business in midweek saying, right, we've got a chance to close the gap in Hearts. Focus now goes on Hearts and try to catch them, finishing third. And it's just that's not what you want to see.
It does seem after a result like that, so they do go a bit, doesn't it, Aberdeen?
See the thing that you're talking about, Jim, and that's St Mirren side, and you're right. But it had to be like that with St Mirren, and it's easier. You'll know that yourself, to defend, to kind of consolidate and deny, you know, teams and all that. But the expectation at Aberdeen is because of what's went on in the past. The fans have been up in arms and saying we want a side that goes and it's exciting, it's attacking and all that. And so he's maybe caught between that, you know, and he's trying to find that. But they were all over the place.
He's under pressure.
So they were. I think you've got to be under pressure. You beat 5-0, you know. And I know people go, he's only 11 months into it, but that an Aberdeen side and the money that's been spent, and that is his team, they shouldn't be getting beat 5-0 against a good Heart side. We're taking it.
It's a great decision for them to get rid of Derek McInnes, wasn't it? Great decision for them.
But
look,
at the end of his time there, mate.
I think when you look at how they do things now as well, they've spent good money in transfer fees in the summer. They backed Stephen Glass when he was a manager. Just before Dell left, it was Cosgrove gets sold in January. 2 million, you have to take it. Scott Wright gets sold when he didn't want to for buttons because he was out of contract. He signed the pre-contract with Rangers anyway. And he never got a chance to bring players in. If you look at Derek's tenure the whole way through, it was building a team, bringing in your Mackay Stevens, Shinnie, who's back, Johnny Hayes, all these players. at some point they all get sold, but he managed to bring in other players to do it. He proved that he could do that. So it is, you know, strange, and I know that, you know, the Aberdeen fans felt like it was time for a change, but I think towards the end it was made more difficult for Derek McInnes to go and do the job that we know he can do.
I don't think Scales and McCrory's ever been a partnership. I actually think the two of them are decent players, but I watched A2 v St Mirren. It was around about the Christmas period, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. Some of the things
They do struggle with the captain Stewart's it.
honestly, they don't look at the same.
The results when he's not playing.
I don't think that's a partnership. I don't even know if Scales is a centre half, is he? I don't think McCrory is, but
Left back a lot.
Where do you think McCrory? Where's McCrory's position?
Fullback.
That's what I like him at fullback.
Centre holding mid. I just don't think there's a partnership between them. And that's I think they're decent players, but no, my God, no, there's two centre halves.
I know a lot of people like McCrory just sitting in front of a back four or whatever, but I've watched him enough times at full. I think he's a good fullback because he's quick and he's athletic. That's what you need for your fullbacks in this day and age as well. Plus he's decent. He's a decent defender, but he's not a centre back. Because I watched him when he was on loan at Dumbarton, when he was at Rangers, and he played centre back and he just struggled a wee bit.
So I think when you've got two kind of young ones,
so good now.
It's somebody has to take ownership. They need to be the leader and, you know, organise. I don't know, because you're not on the pitch, you can't see what's actually happening. But I think when you've got two young centre backs, I know we're saying he's not a centre back, but he's playing in there. The experienced one generally helps.
The young one
beside them.
So could you put wee Craig Brown in there now? If you're looking for a wee bit of experience.
Height wise, I think they've been.
Get Willie Muller back in. He could get himself done.
I wonder if Goodwin will be looking to get a centre half in.
But will Aberdeen go and give him more money now after the money that he spent? Have you just been beat 5 for Hearts? Do you go and allow him that?
I think they're looking to bring one or two. They've already said that.
Right.
In. So that's an area I think I've got to look at. Definitely. I think generally they're alright. They're quite good from middle to front. But at the back,
there's been times this season they've played well. It's just, you know, it's heightened when you go to Tynecastle and lose.
They're doing against Rangers as well. And that game could have been an absolute annihilation. I mean, what did they get beat that day? Was it 5? 4 or 5? Could have been 10. 10, 11 that day.
But I mean, at the same time...
And that's again, again, that's where he was caught between attacking. Because remember he said that Jim said he was going to have a go. You know, and sometimes, you know, you can't.
You can have a go and still be switched on defensively.
But you need the players to do that, Faddy, and they're evident. I don't think you've done that the other night. Because I think it was in the show, I think it was, I watched the highlights in the BBC, and they highlighted that when one went to press. I mean, you've all got to go, that's your trigger. And one or two didn't. And then
just getting played around.
Played around a bit.
There's your weekly BBC. You got the BBC in there.
I get that.
I never hear you on the BBC and all they were talking about it on Open Go, but that's what you want to do.
Like
I mention these all the time.
No.
You're asking us because you don't watch them.
It was only this week, mate. It was only this. Can I ask you this, something? Here's a question for you. Because I was watching the Man City Tottenham game last night, and it was Carragher who kept saying Conte's a defensive manager, he's the defensive manager, so he couldn't go and manage a Man City who want to play this attacking way of football. Is that similar in Scotland? Is Jim Goodwin a defensive manager and it's tough to go and then manage a club that want to attack?
Well, I remember when Goodwin got appointed, and I spoke to an agent who watched St Mirren, and he was surprised Aberdeen did appoint him because of, remember when the Glasgow wanted to play this new brand of football, playing it for that? I remember they said that. So at that point I was a wee bit surprised why, if Goodwin had, that agent told me that he played very direct, so I was surprised at that. So managers can adapt side, but for me, I think it is hard. If you've got a sort of style, you're defensive, I think it is then hard to go and say.
But you can be attacking
while being defensive. What counter-attack?
So, Conte, I know that they say defensive manager, but his problem now is they're conceding too many goals, but they're not offering enough going forward. So if you've not got a defensive structure, and like you're saying, and you've got a player that wants to go and press when it's maybe no on or they're no set to do it, then once you're beyond that press, if they're not up way they play, then they're at your back line. If you're trying to play kind of high line, but you're not get the distances right in between your defence and your midfield, one of the midfielders goes and goes rogue and tries to press, you're beyond, you've not got time to adjust. The goal for Smith is perfect for that, because the line's too high, they're all caught kind of ball watching, they're not switched on. One pass in behind, brilliant touch. By the way, he's finished. I thought he was going to step on it and hit it with his right foot. He just passed it to the left. But if you can still be organised defensively, even when you're attacking, when you're going to press, it doesn't mean that you're
leave
this
yourself wide
open
open,
expanse. This is a problem. People say we're going to be open and we're going to play and we're going to be expansive. When you've got the ball, make the pitch as big as you can, play and take risk. When you don't have it, get back in. Get back into a structure where you're hard to play against. Force it wide, make sure you don't get played through the middle, or if a team's better going wide, force them into the middle and you can go and win it and set your wee traps to go and press them. So I think the way football is now, you get defensive teams that set up in a way that they're defending, they're going to frustrate you, they're sitting back in your favourite in the low block, but you still need to offer something in attack. And it's the same if you're going to press high. You can't just go, we're pressing high, bang, everybody goes. There still has to be a structure to it.
That's where the question marks are with Jim at the minute. Because defensively at St Mirren and Darlow as well, he done really well that way.
Kind of bottom of the championship,
it's that taking that. That's where the question marks. Can he take that next step? And have that solid foundation, and defend well, but go and and exploit. That's a challenge for him. That's why there's still, and I think quite rightly so. I think there's a few question marks.
But if you look at St Mirren, played Hearts a couple of times over the last week or two.
Terrific, weren't they? They were
defence, 20% possession, but they had more shots. They had more chances because they've got that structure, but they go and spring for it. So they're defensive, but
19 shots they had.
Can you do that as an Aberdeen manager?
19 shots they had.
St Mirren.
19 shots they had St Mirren at Tynecastle. So they did. I think they had only about 4 or 5 in target, but going to Tynecastle for a St Mirren side that didn't have a lot of possession, but it just shows you they've found, David Robinson's found a way. What you're saying about being defensive, then can you spring forward and get...
France won the World Cup, defensive team,
and they sat back,
they go back in their banks of 4, and they just, the distances in between defence, midfield and attack were all short, and they spring for there. Wasn't it open, expansive football?
I know, but what I'm saying is,
never scored a goal.
What I'm saying is, Dale McInnes played a wee bit of that, go to Tynecastle, and that's what Aberdeen fans didn't want to watch anymore, and that's why Dale McInnes was taken out. They wanted a manager who was going to go to places and dominate the game.
But I think that's the perception of how Dale played, and at times Aberdeen fans will be saying, "Oh, the football wasn't great," but when you look at when he had these team. They were exciting
to watch.
Forward.
I agree.
Niall McGinn, Mackay Stephen, Big Cosgrove up front, Rooney when he played, Johnny Hayes throw him into that, Shinnie. These are good players that want to go and attack. They can do the attacking, but they also roll their sleeves up and do the dirty side of the game. And maybe that's what's missing. When you say a team or a player, we're going to go and play, and you get on the ball and you make things happen. Right, when we've got it, but when we've not got it, you need to rat about, you need to go and win the ball back, you need to be horrible to play against, and maybe that's just what's missing for them.
What a praise for Derek McInnes, but I think he lost the plot a wee bit the other night. That decision, the sending off. He says try to defend it. He couldn't have seen the...
When did were you watching that when we were it?
Did you see it?
Aye. I went back to my
It was, he smashed up with the elbow. So he tried to defend him.
I knew it was staying. It was a...
Who was it that got sent off? Again, sorry, I apologize. Was it right? That wee Daniel Armstrong? What, he's elbowed somebody?
By the way,
he was on a booting.
He's a good...
comes down the left back area. Barisic is facing his own byline, and he flicks it out his head. And Armstrong could probably turn
and get it.
Because he's in between Barisic and the ball. And he just goes and leaves a bit on him.
But he chose to do that all night against Rangers for whatever reason. He'd done Morelos early doors and then he kept laying one
Danny Armstrong did?
No, I watched him at Rafe Rovers numerous times. He's a terrific
blue tinted specs on.
No, chance. I'm telling you, he was Morelos. Morelos is always at it.
He'll be coming to your door.
Fucking Danny come to my door, no problem. But he's a good player, a right good player. I used to watch him, and any time I watched him, that was never in his locker. And then you see him going about bumping people and hitting people. I'm going like that.
He joined the gang in it since he went to Cheltenham.
I'm going, what's happened to you?
He was a best player.
Well, good player, mate.
It was great if he sold.
That is no in doubt, Faddy. But what he was doing all the time, he was pulling people, hitting people, and why he goes
I don't mind that, but the last part, that when you're on a booting,
maybe
whether he goes in to just even give him a wee nudge, you're on a booting. You don't need to do it.
You don't.
He's breaking on you and you feel what you need to bring him down. it was just a crazy decision, especially because he was playing well, and if they were going to get back into it, he would have probably been at the heart.
He was terrorising Barisic, so he was. Barisic didn't even want to get near him. He was like, oh, I don't want a piece of that. And he was putting some great balls in, and it wasn't like him. He just kept putting bits on guys, and you're like, you're going to get your comeuppance. You could see it coming.
Get him up to your dad's
cheering when it was up, weren't you? You're like,
Danny boy, get up to Dale's dad's.
He kept doing it. Did you see the one right at the start? He does Morelos a beauty. Yeah. So he does, he's him right in the ribs. Aye. And you're going, fair play, you've got away with that. But he kept at it all the time. And it, because it's going to cost him. Because as long as he's going to boot for 2 or 3 games, and he's their best player. And you've heard McInnes praise him, quite rightly so, because he's been excellent, he's been brilliant.
I think he only missed 1 game, it wasn't it?
It's only one.
And by the way, I'll tell you now, they will bring a centre half in Aberdeen because they've just got the funds for Ramirez, got to Columbus group.
You still want to speak of Aberdeen?
Oh, sorry, we didn't.
Mad on Aberdeen, me man.
Too much.
You want to go to the Darvel game Monday? Mick will get his tickets.
Do you know, see on, I would go to that. Definitely.
You did it?
What's that there?
We're going
to stand behind him.
Stand behind him the
Make
full
the noises they done in Match of the Day.
You thought it was your phone, didn't you?
That was Johnny Sunderland's phone that they got, wasn't it?
See on
taped it to the side, wasn't it? It's like, I'm going to make up for my mistake.
Darvel squad of players, isn't it? They're, I would say, League Ones. Honestly, that's how, even dare I say it.
Who do you like for the? Who do you like?
Do you think that could be an upset?
Jordan Fitzpatrick.
Doesn't he get a game? And it's Kirkpatrick, but
Kirkpatrick, you're a brilliant
boy
player.
Fitzpatrick.
Sorry, was it Aki's?
Kirkpatrick, no, he's at Alloa.
No, Jordan.
He was at Aki's, wasn't he?
You called him Fitzpatrick.
He was at Aki's.
I was thinking Mark.
On camera, you've just called him Jordan Fitzpatrick. He was at Aki's, was he? I don't know.
He was at Aki's, and then he was at Aki's. He's a good player. Middle of the park, was that?
He could play 10.
Who else do you like, son? And I like the wee wingers out to Andy. Oh, I could watch him all day.
Andy who?
Sterling, brilliant.
Well done, good.
To Andy, he's another one. By the way, dare I say it?
Who else you got then?
The wee man.
Andy Sterling.
No, he's a cracking player.
Where else have you seen Andy Sterling play?
St Mirren when he was younger, actually. I played against him.
Good.
Queen of the South, he was outstanding at Queen.
Good, like it.
What's your ground like? Is it
pitch is good.
Is it good? Is it a good surface?
Pitch is good, mate. Dressing room's at Aberdeen. It's not what you think. You'll no go there and it'll be like a wee tiny. It's all done properly at Darvel.
Right.
He wasn't even that good at Stranraer, Andy Sterling.
He was good at Stranraer.
No, he was great at Stranraer. Is it an Astro pitch, Darvel?
No, grass.
This is grass.
That might be
good,
half. Do you know that?
No, it's Saturday. It's the
They'll make sure that's on.
Big thaw kicks in.
That'll be a cracking game. It's not a game, listen, for Aberdeen after Wednesday with Tuesday, the game v Hearts. You don't want to be getting into playing Darvel now.
Truesdale hat-trick last week as well, striker. Aberdeen conceding goals.
Who's your favourite player at Darvel?
Ian McShane by a mile.
Ian McShane's cracking.
He's played in the Premier League, hasn't he, St Mirren?
Of course he has, aye. Played against him when I was younger.
So they've got a few.
They've got a good team, mate. Meg at the back, good player. Cam Eady, that was us.
What were they play direct?
They'll play. They'll play.
I might go to that actually.
You've just said you're going to,
No, I know, but I was only kidding on it. I might go
You can down in your scooter.
I want you to put your neck on the line. Obviously, we'll see you next Thursday. What will the result be in that game? Is it on the kill?
3-1 Aberdeen.
Aberdeen will win.
It'll be tricky.
They'll win.
But Aberdeen will. They should have, of course. Come on. You don't want that in your CV, do you?
Aberdeen. I think Andy Sterling will let them down.
Talking and saying it's.
I think Andy Sterling will let the boys down. 3-1 Aberdeen.
Talking as if it is a tricky one for them, but I think they'll still win the game.
Alright, Hibs are on it. Well, we'll get Derek's opinion on Ramirez actually, because you've seen a lot of him. Lewis was he's away.
Good player, but it was evident last season. He disappeared with, 3 weeks to go. Which I said at the time, I thought it was pretty disrespectful. I know you've got issues, your missus goes back home and all that, and you're trying to find a way out of the club, but you see the season out, whether, whatever, if you're not happy or no, because it's all about the boys in the dressing room, and I get what went on, but he's been a good player. I don't think, I think if he'd have stayed under Jim Goodwin, but Jim made his mind up right away. Just say he wasn't having him, and I probably wouldn't come out on TV and say that on the camera. But he's a good player. So
Columbus Crew, innit, he went to? Columbus Crew.
Big wages as well, off the wage bill for Aberdeen. So
they must be paying a few quid now.
If you've got a player that's not going to play, I know he's come on now and again, but you need to get him off the wage bill, and that's that'll free something up for him to do a wee bit of business in this January window.
Another player's left Scottish football, Paul.
Aye, how's the agent I spoke to about Jim Goodwin, he sorted this deal.
Can I call Frank McAvenny an agent?
So, Melkerson away to Sparta Rotterdam. It's a strange one, isn't it?
Not really.
He's played.
Done enough to, how's so to get...
All right, I mean in terms of
The Eredivisie.
It's a good move for him.
Aye, the Eredivisie.
No, I get what you're saying now.
I've not seen a lot of him and I don't know.
But I think the reason we're talking about it is that he's been brought in, 300 grand last year.
Yeah.
This is probably part of the problem with Hibs and the recruitment. You know, you're bringing in players, hanging your hat on them, and now he's away out on loan. It is. I think he's got something. I really do. The game last year against Motherwell was outstanding.
Couple of good finishes,
movement, good finishing.
Get rid of that hairband, but
Not having that now.
nah, fucking does my nothing, man. It's alright, but I know, Peter, it's easy for me to say.
You should wear one the next week.
What?
Did you have a perm when you were younger? When you were our age?
A perm.
Did you?
That's what I done. I bleached my hair when I was.
Aye. You're slagging hair, man. You bleached your hair.
Aye.
Eh?
I remember. Big.
Just part of the...
I was doing to, who I'll blame for that was Big Nearly Cooper, away back in the day, or in Ibiza. We were there, me and Gerrani, and we bumped into Big Nearly and all that, and they were the bleached blonde hair, plus getting all the, lemons and all that in their hair.
Aye, the lemon juice.
Lemon juice and all that. So that's how Gerrani get his nickname Jasper.
Orange juice
Because
your hair in it.
I'm
see, Gerrani's hair never turned blonde. His turned ginger. So that's a good iron brew. Good one.
You had said that Gerrani had the lemon stuffed in his mouth.
My point is, you're walking about with blonde highlights, you're slagging a boy for a hairband.
Aye, but that was all.
What would you want him to do?
That was all. What?
If he's got long hair to it goes on his eyes, what would you recommend?
Cut it.
Just cut his hair out.
Aye, get a bowl out of the head and just cut it right round. Sort it out.
What's the worst haircut
That's
you've ever
what
had?
Big Jock done to me when he walked into the dressing room. Faddy. That's what Big Jock just sent me round the corner of the barbers. She's can run there and get that cut. Disco head. Remember? That's where the disco head came
So he
from.
sent you up for a short back inside?
Aye, he had enough of it and she's got round there and get that cropped. And I did. Just went round the corner and there you go. A couple of quid at that time. So
I told you it's like John Robertson told me to get my hair cut and Larson says no, I didn't get it cut.
But was it the mullet you had then?
Mullet,
that's what we kind of had at the
I was out
time.
of control.
Larson should never have said that.
Oh, it's a baby lion.
Larson should never
A wee
have said
fat
that.
lion, mate.
You weren't fat then.
Oh, I was always. I had the highest body fat by a mile at Celtic, mate.
I need to see pictures of you then when you were...
Well, somebody stitches up a Celtic fan account, put happy 35th birthday. Right. Ferry. Oh my god, man.
No,
I've no seen. I need to see something.
you're in good shape with Dundee.
I can imagine you.
It was longer than that though.
It was longer than that.
Because we played against you with Scotland. And you had the wee...
You like a wee Morelos?
Aye, you were a wee bit.
I was tubby, mate. I was a wee tubby. Always.
Faddy, you had the wee...
I had the wee rat tail.
Where did that come from?
I had it, I had it when I was younger, because I used to go and watch, my dad played amateur, so I used to go and watch my dad, and one of the guys in the team scored 2 outrageous goals and he had one. So I'm like, I'm having one of them, right? I was about 7. And I just, I had it, and then I got to an age where I hated it. But I was the type where people were saying, get that cut off. I'm like, no, it's my hair. You do what you want.
What age were you when you were... Was wee Mickey Weir running about that? Was it Mickey?
They all said it. I went away I went for a Scotland under 20s thing, and I think it was Jimmy Bone. He's like, you need to cut that hair, son. I says, I'm not cutting it.
Good for you, mate.
No doing it. So I actually kept it for years because everybody says, you need to cut your hair.
Aye.
I'm like,
How does that even grow? Did you just...
You just cut round it.
You just cut round it, huh?
I wish I had it now, I'd just flip it right out.
And it was red as well, wasn't it? Was it red at one stage?
No, I'd red up the middle.
Why was that?
It looked good, mate. It was iconic at that time, man.
It was.
I told you the story
that back.
before about my mate's pal came on holiday with us to Greece, and he was a baldy man, but he had ginger hair as well. But we didn't realise. We come home one night, right?
Do you know?
Now, this was a work of art. What he done, Faddy, it was a work of art, right? We didn't know because when we come in and we saw him, he was out for the count, by the way. But his hair it stretched out about 5 foot, right? And then we'd noticed he used to get in and like, before he went out, hairspray and all that, and he weaved this thing back and forward. Fucking beautiful how he done it. So what did we do? Fucking scissors, man. So he woke up in the morning. Aye, he was screaming, "You bastards, you fucking..."
Have you still got his number?
But how he done it? Because he was actually baldy, but he get this big long bit and he weaved it back and forward and it sat perfectly, you know, until there was a wee kind of gust of wind or whatever, and it would just lift a wee bit. But how he done it was
incredible.
But
Did they just throw that on the sunbed before he lay down?
He could have. You guys seen that? It was some length.
Do you know, say Jim does a side pattern with his arse hair?
He could, man. He could right here.
Obviously yours doesn't get much worse than what it is now, but what's the worst that you've
We
had?
all got the Ronaldo was it the triangle? The slide all got it.
Well, all you's got it?
Me, my brother, my dad.
Did your dad come in with it first?
The gas boys. We had this Ron Stewart, he was called Ron Stewart.
Do you know his dad worked for the, what is it?
MOD.
Military.
Match of the day, wasn't it?
He was in charge of your defence.
Raging all day. She said, you should never have let that out.
Was
He
that
hides his situation,
dangerous?
he hides his secret agent, didn't he? He hides his James Bond.
Aye, he said to me that should never have got out now. She was like, no, my safety's in danger because you've mentioned it. That's maybe why he walked about with the bag.
With a rifle on it.
So that's a shit. I should never have mentioned that. I wish I never knew, man.
Is that why he carries a white dog shit in case he gets attacked?
What?
Fine dog shit.
No, it's another one of my lies.
Aye. No,
You were talking shite, weren't you?
No, he's high up in the MOD.
No, you were talking shite.
Yeah, do you know the film The Bodyguard? That was based on your dad, wasn't it?
Was it?
Kevin Costner, we went to Houston.
Aye.
Who was the singer your dad used to protect?
Boy George.
Jimmy Cranky.
Boy George.
What about your dad?
What?
Chippy? What was his job when you were young?
Chippy.
Chip it. Aye,
No,
making
when you're young-
chips.
when you're
Making
young-
chips.
And your dad in the Chippy, what was his job?
What a different one.
Fucking make
Building
chips
sites
then.
and all that.
Sorry. When he was young.
Aye, I worked in the building sites and all that when I was younger. Aye.
What about that crack we seen yesterday at the airport?
Oh,
One of the biggest arse cracks I've seen in a long time.
He's asked me, have you still got your ticket? And I was like, he's like, you'll need it. And I went, for where? And he went, for there. Points at her singing it.
So building site, mate.
You get arse cracks on building site. Your dad must have had his arse out in the building site a couple of times.
Probably. He was skinny when he was younger though.
He's a handsome man.
See if I didn't get into football, I wonder what job I'd have done. What would you have done?
Right, I told you, I'd be a roof sheeter like my old man.
I'd have done.
I'd have been like a sparky or a plumber.
Would you have?
I built my roofs.
Don't know.
For sure. Terrible question, isn't it?
Don't know.
Bad
No, it's
question,
not.
mate.
No, good question.
There's another massive game in the Scottish Cup coming up for him.
I can't believe I'm not going to the Devil game, I'm going to go to that one instead.
Is Andy getting you tickets?
Okay, how is Andy?
Sunday,
I'm genuinely.
Monday.
Right, he's asking you how your wee mate is.
I'm genuinely asking, how is he? Because I obviously wasn't playing the other night and he had the head knock
It's hard to get any
last
words
game.
out of him, he just cries constantly, doesn't he?
But genuinely, how is he? I'm
No, he's
but
all right. I think that it's just, see when it becomes, when it's something to do with the heat and stuff, that they need to be so careful, no, don't they? So he's all good, doesn't he? He just have to, the safety measures not working.
Was it concussion?
Concussion.
Gogic smacked him and then the free kick and it whacked half his napper and I started laughing
Turned
at
into a
him.
punch bag, isn't he?
Aye, and but he went down. He was down for a wee bit.
Needs to toughen up, I think.
So, but the boys are.
They need to be out for a certain amount of time.
The boys
and
are
then they
lighter
need to
now,
do the
but-
test. I know, but they're
should
lighter,
still-
but they go faster.
He should wear the helmet check well, shouldn't he?
He gets Robbie to sit on his head too, doesn't he? I think that's where it's all coming from.
That's what Stem's saying. No, but no, he'll be fine. It's just, listen, he's ready to go anytime you ask him, but at the moment, it's just the safety measures.
What's
They
happened
need
with
to do
Robbie
all the
Nielsen?
tests.
They're missing him, eh? Really missing him, 5-0.
Wait, is that Easter Road, Si, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah.
Yes, it is, mate.
Easter Road. Is
Did I say it's a must win?
Is it a must win? For Hibs?
Well, if they don't win, they're out the cup. It's a big game. Big
Do you
game
think
for
he-
them.
I'm looking
Aye,
forward
it
to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be sitting watching
And
that.
Hibs,
They were good. They were good against Motherwell. Went to Hibs and then Dundee United. I think they were quite poor. How did they get on midweek?
Nisbet's easier, man. It's
Nisbet's goals last week were brilliant.
Incredible.
Tremendous. He's a different player.
Magic.
Since he come back. I spoke about him last time. Different player.
Well, I was going to say he's as well because
Incredible
Celtic are going to bring in 21 South Korean striker. Oh, would you take a wee gamble on Nisbet?
I would, but I've heard this boy's outstanding.
I don't know if he'd get Nisbet.
How long's he got his deal?
A year, 18
18
months.
months.
18 months.
Probably would, nah.
I know, but how can you sell him? How can you justify selling him?
But you don't want a Porteous happening again today,
No,
when you're
I know
losing
you
for
don't, but
pennies.
you don't want Porteous potentially gone and Nisbet the same Monday. Boyle's still injured. Like Nisbet's come back and he's scoring all the goals. So what you going to who are you going to replace him with? We've got the boy McCurdy. I don't think he's the man to step up. I just don't see how they can accept unless it's stupid money. But even then, I still think if you lose his goals at the team and you don't replace him, and look, we're talking about the track record they have in their recruitment, you wouldn't trust whoever it is that's making the decision to bring in a player that's going to replicate what he's done since he came back from his injury. So I get it. If teams looking at him will say he's a better player than before he done his cruciate, which is phenomenal for me. But I just don't see how Hibs can justify selling him.
What about this boy then? You know a bit about him?
Who's that, Si?
You said he's meant to be some player.
Maybe amazing, aye. Maybe be really, really good. Spoke to a few people about him.
That agent again?
The agent told me about him, aye. A few boys have said to me he's meant to be the...
Scored 2 in the World Cup, didn't he?
World Cup 2.
Right.
Did you know that?
Yes, I know.
But no, he is meant to be amazing. But again, I'll go back to what I said the other day. I would go for Nisbet. If Jack Mackers goes out, I think Nisbet...
Similar type to Jack
They need to sell him.
A physical presence.
Hibs need to sell him because he wants away. I'm sure he wants away. I'm with what's went on in the past. I think
Birmingham won it.
Aye.
It depends on what they're offered.
Aye, they're not
Like,
going to
you
just sell for
can't-
it.
So if somebody said I'll give you 3 million for Nisbet now, they wouldn't take it. But 18
So the club-
months, they thought I'm going
They can't
for
have
3.
another port. You've just said that they can't have a situation where they've got with Porteous where they're scrambling about to get 250, 300 grand for him. They can't afford that. So if he doesn't go this window, he'll be away in the summer. I'm sure he will.
I think that the summer makes more sense.
Yeah.
Aye.
Because they can get through to the end of the season. If he's not
For him
there,
as well.
I say it again. Who's going to score the goals for them? It's a big dilemma for them. But 3 million, it's a lot of money for them to say, do you take the risk? But how much are they going to lose if they don't get
Think you'll
up
be
to
in the Scotland squad
if he keeps playing
with Shanklin as well. You look at Shanklin banging in the goals as well. Nisbet coming back. Great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and as I said, he's a better player. Shanklin's a better player than when he left. Nisbet's a better player since he got injured.
But Steve Clark, he keeps the strikers, doesn't he? Dykes,
Lloyd.
Adams.
But they're offering more than what, because you look at the two of them before.
Yeah.
Both of them, you would say, good goal scorers. But I think they're so much better now than what they were. They have to be in with a shout to getting in.
Can Hibs win?
They can win.
How do they go about it?
I think Hearts will beat them.
How do they go about it? I've not saw a lot of Hibs, to be honest with you. But just it's that confidence that Hearts have got.
Aye.
And I know they're going to Easter Road. I know but I just think they've got something about them now. It's that belief in it, that confidence. See, when you've got that, you feel you're going to win games.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. You can't buy that. Yeah,
But you can still
Hibs
see
are up and doing it. You don't know what you're getting with Hibs.
They can win the game.
Of course they can.
Hearts are favourites. Same as the league game they played a couple of weeks ago. Hearts are favourites, but Hibs, they can get a result, and I do think they need it. They need that result because it's no
Can you see them getting?
I still think Hearts will win, but I think Hibs can push them, cause them enough problems. You never know with a derby game.
Yeah. Snoddy 600 games.
Whoa,
Incredible career.
Especially with the
Just came
injuries.
along the road as well.
Few injuries, I know.
Terrible injuries.
He was class the other night as well, wasn't he?
He's done really
Just
well
didn't
for
he?
Hearts,
Just
hasn't
sits there and keeps it
What a
moving.
signing.
Aye. I know, and a lot of I think, and that's fair play to Robbie Nielsen as well. Who else is he looking to get back?
Christoph Berra.
No, because a lot of teams wouldn't maybe touch him because of their age and that, and maybe I don't know the wages are on, but because Motherwell were after him. Well, suppose I don't know. You know better than me, but no. So he's obviously that's
He's a top player. I've spoken about him before, Snoddy. The way he looks after himself, how he trains. He's obviously a brilliant guy to have in your squad.
That's the dressing room.
In the dressing room, he's time for a laugh and a joke. He's one of the funniest guys ever. But he's an unbelievable trainer. He's got great standards. He'll dig people out if they need to, but he can also encourage them. Tremendous signing, and for the fact that the injuries that he had, to play 600 games is incredible.
And there's somebody that can whip a corner kick in.
Oh, he can put a ball in. He can put a ball in.
He's not taking them shot.
No, he's no floating
That's
them
the only way I would take a short corner to get a better angle to shoot.
He's whipping them in, isn't he?
Here, come here, I'll go round you, game it back, whip it to the back post.
What a career, honestly. What a career.
Proud of him.
It's amazing, because I think, see, when he was first coming through at Living, that people always spoke about kind of the way he looked after himself. He was a young boy, but now to think 600 games is incredible.
When he came through, he was like, everybody could see his talent, but nobody would touch him because they weren't sure about him off the park and his character. So
He went to Stirling Albion, didn't he? On
fair
loan.
play to him, because he's done that. He's made the changes that he's had to make.
Yeah.
Gone down to Leeds, incredible. And then his injury to get back, I think he would say, tell yourself, he was a better professional for his injury as well. And he's in great nick. He always used to slag me with Scotland because I used to like eating the chocolate and that, but I was retired.
Nah, you can do that. You're still a career, mate.
Still eating
chocolate. You're saying you slaughtered my belly, I know.
I was out of order that.
It's all out of love, mate.
Out of order that.
Was it out of love?
No, it was only stating a fact.
Mouth-watering tie. Rangers St Johnstone.
Is it?
Your mouth's always watery, innit?
All the time.
What have you been doing?
What, just saliva kicking about in there?
No, it's saliva.
Where you gone with that?
I can't believe Hibs Hearts is the mouth watering, but
No, that is
Rangers is.
By the way, never won a header the other night.
Who
Rangers.
what players
Rangers.
what defenders like?
You're not back four. I mean, look, what KILLIE did, they get the boys in the top of Barisic, even Tavernier as well. Even in Davis, the second goal, KILLIE's second goal was an absolute beauty. But they don't win enough headers, defensively. They're poor. Set pieces. And we're not talking about free kicks in and around the box or corner kicks. We're talking about they've got to defend better than they have.
Here.
But they don't win enough headers. And if you're playing and you know that your defenders aren't going to win the majority, then makes you a bit nervous because you've got to win that second ball. They're no good
Johnson
defensively.
don't have the physicality though.
But that was something, if they did, you would certainly target that. Other teams will look at that.
Pitch is dreadful as well. See it last week. I know that a lot
If they
of
go up
pitches
top,
are like
if they get Clark up top,
Stevie
May, and that's it. So they've
that.
no.
Williston's come back as well, kind of playing off, but they're
But that'll suit Rangers.
losing goals too easily. St Johnstone again, another team where you say normally they're well organised, hard to play against, and individual errors it's no like them, and they're on a poor run as well. So
The scout's been at St Johnstone training. Constantine's been put up front all week in training, so.
See if you had that. See if you had that option up top, it'd be a no-brainer. Because I think Rangers are struggling at the minute defensively with boys into the box.
Do you know, did you hear Bill's press conference after the game?
What did he say?
Sorry, on you go.
He said about, I think he's desperate for a new goalkeeper.
Well, I mean, look at the other night, the goals, the boys into the box. Rangers could have been 2 or 3 down.
He said it.
Aye, after 20 minutes. Yep, they were horrible the first 24, 25 minutes. Till we scored. And they should have been 2-0 done. They brought in McLaughlin for the obvious reasons that they say he's, because they obviously talk about he comes for the boys.
His corners now.
Look at him.
The goal was right in for that.
Aye. He looked nervous as well. He looked unsure. I don't like that you were talking about it, Faddy, about swapping keepers. I agree with you. I don't know if you said that. I don't like that.
No,
you need a settled goalkeeper.
Do you know why I think though? Because McGregor's away in the summer. That's what Bill said. Bill came out and said McGregor's away. Well,
I know, but he's there now. And if you're a forward, one wee thing can change for you. If you're going in and you're playing and maybe not had the best game, you're taken out, you're brought on as a sub, or you play the next game, something can happen where it's a wee bit of luck. But I think with a goalie, you need to be in a rhythm. You need to be playing. Yeah. It's unusual. I mean, Griggsy played last week and he says he's the best goalie in Scotland, and then he doesn't play against.
What's this thing that he can't come for crosses? I can't remember a big mistake where he's came. I can't remember a big mistake. He chooses when to come and when not to come.
The best Rangers keeper ever, Gorham, and Gorham never came because
you've got 2 big centre backs. There for
and that's what they're there for. But
maybe that's the message. I'm putting a goal in to try and take the pressure off of the guys. You've just said there.
Who's it? Goldson and Ben Davis. 2 6'3". We need a goal. You need a goal that can come.
I'm asked the question: who's Rangers' best goalkeeper? And it's McGregor. So you play your best goalkeeper, and McLaughlin he looks so unsure of himself, and I don't think that's good for the defence, You know, you need that under the that understanding. And
normally you would go, if you decide it's McLaughlin, just go with McLaughlin. If you decide it's McGregor, just go with him. But I don't know. It's unusual. I've seen it where at pre-season or at the start of the season you go, right, he's challenging that one, but I suppose you can look at it and say this is the start of the season for Beale coming in to say, you know, I still don't know who the best one is, but I think it's unusual that you go and bringing him in to suit this style of game, and you know, Griggsy can come back in for a different one. If you're saying that, then you're just going to say, right, any ball, put it in the box.
Aye.
And test it away, because you're letting people know you don't think
you think there's a weakness there.
You think they're a threat for set plays.
But they have signed an Andy Stirling type and Todd Cantwell.
Is he like that, Cantwell?
Nah, he's more like coming inside the 10.
Do you think, I asked the boys this all day, I mean the results have improved massively, but do you think the performances have improved a lot under Beale?
I think
sorry to just dismiss Cantwell, I'll go back.
That's alright, mate. Do what you like.
At times I would say I think that you can see, you know, he wants his fullbacks to get high and wide, and even though the other night Armstrong Kilmarnock as a team started brilliant first 20 minutes, Danny Armstrong attacking wise had Barisic, but Barisic didn't say, right, well I'm just going to sit in and wait for it. They still got high, they still try to play, and you know, Cantwell coming in. The problem I've got is Ryan Kent looks like a different player. He looks like he's enjoying the role that he's in.
Freedom.
Managing to get higher up the pitch, he's managing to take people on. They still need to get Morelos fit, but they still need, I think, something a wee bit different, somebody that can bring that energy maybe to the midfield, to get from midfield to attack or break the line. Scotty Arfield came in and played the other night.
Cantwell does that a wee bit, Faddy.
I think he does. I think that's maybe why he's come in. The only thing I would say, he's probably better suited playing off the left, which is where Ryan Kent is, which is where Matondo would play, which is, you know, the problem Rangers have got is the right hand side. Somebody that can play there. He can play there, and a player that 3-4 years ago was getting linked with big moves all over the place, so there's definitely talent there. But where does he fit in?
You know much about him, innit?
Cantwell, just what you hear, you know, he looks a nice player, obviously was a promise, but you wonder why. That's a big question mark for me as well, why it's not happened for him, why he's not kicked on, you know, but obviously Beale thinks he can, you know, instill that mentality into him, but no, I don't see it, but they asked me that question the other night. I don't see much of a difference between Rangers. The only thing we're talking about, Kent, more freedom, Tillman, a wee bit more freedom, they're not kind of setting their ways. I think they've got it in defensively. I'm going to say something. The league, they'll not win the league, that's it. Remember, I was kind of holding on, but after watching that the other night, I thought, nah, the league's too far, no chance. Rangers will not win the league now. So this is how Saturday night, 5:30, St Johnstone becomes massive. Cup games is massive for Rangers. So they've got to put everything into that. Play your best team, play your best players, play McGregor in the games. Because that's why he played at Hampden against Aberdeen, because in the big games, McGregor produces. So he does. So
have they not won every game bar one under Beale?
Aye, but there's not been one time, and what I was wanting to do when I settled down to watch the game the other night was to watch a complete performance where they started well, dominated, and then finished the game well. Where they didn't. They were all over the place. They were all over the place the first 20 minutes. All over the place. And then for the middle to front, and McKinney spoke about it, the Rangers played well, but towards the end, you know,
they panicked a wee bit, didn't they?
Aye, I'm just so.
So what? He said he's going to bring in 2 others. What?
So they need new signings.
Where else?
Aye, where else? In the forward areas, you need another foot. Sholak's out at the minute. Morelos scores his 2 goals, and he's a flavour of the month. What?
Beale slaughtered Morelos.
But he's still caring. He's still not quite as fitting in. He's so involved in a couple of things with the fans. Just leave that alone, and just concentrating, you know, scoring your goals. And so there's more to come, but. They need something, they need another striker for me, and they need somebody with a wee bit more guile, a wee bit more invention. You know, whether Tillman's kind of hot and cold.
But see, with Cantwell coming, could Tillman go back one in the middle of the pitch?
Well, that's what you're thinking about Cantwell. That might be what he'll give you. You know, give that wee bit of imagination, you know, that wee killer ball. You know, but they need bodies in.
to Tillman.
Aye. They need bodies in to meet Rangers. And can't believe what we're sitting here, is it 20th of January, 21st or whatever it is, and we've not had anybody come through that door, because you need that to put pressure on other boys to step up to the mark.
You've got Tom Lawrence as well to come back, who's good player.
Hadji
kind
as well.
Player.
Maybe that's why they're banking on that,
Aye, so
Faddy.
it's
But
bringing in.
they need them.
You don't just bring in players just to say we've brought in some players.
Aye.
He's obviously identified who he wants, and that's who he's going after. I think Cantwell could maybe fill the void that Joe Aribo's left, because he can play probably as a midfielder. He can play off the left, he can play off the right. He's got that kind of style.
Has he got that physicality? I don't know.
He's not got that. He's not got that, but he's got that same type of style, manipulating the ball, and he can take people on. He can play a pass. I think that I don't think he's going to be maybe at the level of Aribo, but I think he's a similar type of player without having the kind of physicality.
You're going to hate him. He wears a headband.
He does.
So just remember.
I know.
So he does.
Not having a headband.
You'll need to go into that place. You got yours done.
I'm not having a headband. I'm not having gloves.
He needs to get
either.
what you've got.
Aye, get it. Just get that. Number one, right
Keep the
here.
bits at the side.
Number one.
That's my next one.
Does that know? Do you let your players wear gloves and all that? And they no bother?
Boys don't really wear stuff like that.
No. See that again.
Brock does. Brock's
See,
big on.
see that?
He's not on, isn't he?
That's maybe just because I'm old fashioned. Because when back in the day, it used to be you had to have your socks up,
Shirt tucked in.
Nothing else
the
on.
whole discipline. No, even a t-shirt underneath your strip.
We've got the opposite problem. Jamie Semple, mate, he's had a cold for about five weeks.
Shorts and t-shirt.
Turns up last night with shorts and t-shirt on, coughing.
Aye, get everything on.
Off.
That was nuts.
This gloves, can't wear a t-shirt. Scott Brown's out like you, old school. Nah, get a jumper on. Everything, hat, club, staff.
Hairband, get your hairband on.
But that is nuts, man.
This is Mount Fortin. Dundee United versus Stirling Uni. Stirling Uni are a good team.
What I would say to Dundee United is be careful of them on the counter, because they are very good.
That's what they'll do.
That's what they're very good. They're very quick up there, and that is their game plan. So listen, they need to be wary, but Dundee, I think Dundee have too much, and they should take them. My God, they should.
Again, this is not like playing a normal part-time team, because Stirling Uni train every day. They've got a good coach who will have them. I don't think they've had a game for a while because of call-offs and stuff like that.
Too much.
I think.
Aye. If they go and play their big hitters, I know that they'll have good players. I know they train every day, but that doesn't matter for me. Dundee United will win the game.
Comfortable,
Aye.
A good game that to watch, actually. We go to that.
It's got a lot of football.
No, you're good.
He doesn't go and watch opposition for you, and he's got to go to all these games. How can Stirling cause them problems then?
What we said, they'll sit in and hit them on the counter. I think Dundee United are particularly good at defending the counter. Well, I think they've been better since, but early on in the season that was their big weakness, wasn't it? Defending on the counter attack. Still, that's how Stirling played. They'd done us a couple of times on the counter attack.
Really
we
quick.
had 10 men at the time.
Really quick.
Really quick
Fit,
up top.
fit having a great season, but as you said, if Dundee United get beat, then it's a shocker for their partner.
Is that a must win?
Must win.
Must win for Stirling United. Right, go on, Kim.
Right, on it. So here, there's a
What
hell
you
of a
want?
lot.
4 games?
Tell Dale I'm asking for him.
I will do, mate.
Got a lot of time for that guy.
I'll give you his number, you tell him.
He's a great lad.
Doesn't he want it? Look.
Aye.
So, Si, there's a hell of a lot of games on the sheet here.
Keep saying you're going to go out and have a wee Sunday sesh with Dale and that, but never.
We'll go up to his dad pub.
Aye. Let's get that organised.
Si, there's a hell of a
Better
lot of
weather
games.
coming
We're
in.
just still going with 4.
I'll go for it. Because I think we can't even win a cup in 4, so what's the point in going 5? Have they won one this season? None of them.
We've been was that not close last week? Aye, very see.
Right, why don't you just go for certs this week, get a few quid in people's pockets?
Right, okay. Partick Thistle, Dunfermline.
Oh, almighty. Aye, well done.
Oh my God.
Dunfermline are top of League
Celtic
One.
Morton are the first one he's went fucking Thistle.
Right,
Dunfermline.
I'm going to go Thistle at home, but
You've been asking, innit?
it is because Dunfermline, I'm sure they're top of the league, playing well, aren't they? They've got good players as well, so that's a toughie. Thistle, go Thistle.
Do you like bananas? Like bananas?
Love a piece of banana.
Damn it, huh?
Oh, I can't beat a piece of banana.
Would you wash it down with tomato juice?
Cup of tea.
Glass of tomato juice.
My dad loves tomato juice, mate.
Oh no, I with
Mate,
vodka.
loves it.
Milkshake.
I know, no, he does.
Bloody Mary,
He's putting
nice.
vodka in that.
He's
disguising that.
Right, he must have.
I've tried all that.
He drank too much of that. Right,
Disguise.
So you'd rather
drink.
stick banana on a piece and like cheese and ham or something? Stick a banana on it.
I'm versatile.
And you put butter on that as well?
Oh, aye.
Yeah, peanut butter.
Oh, that's now
nice.
we're talking peanut butter
Toasted
and banana.
bread.
And a wee bit of jam. Peanut butter with
American-
jam.
quite American,
And
that,
banana.
Oh, I cannot do
Peanut
And cucumber.
Aye.
Lettuce.
5 a day.
whips up, not where we go. Peanut butter, jam, banana.
See,
He's ever done it
see the
last
reason I go for that, Faddy, is because I can't be bothered. Well, I was going to say cooking, but heating up. No, I've been after cooking.
After she was on the panel.
I've just gone, by the way, so I have. So no, anything like that. Easy.
So what, you back to eating the chicken and the mash and the beans?
Oh, aye. Well, can't beat that. Try
that's quite
that.
nice.
That should
Oh,
be
yeah.
your pre-match meal for your
Did you
boys.
ever done the last night just quickly before I go back onto the games?
We had fish and chips.
For your chippy?
No, homemade.
That was good.
Gusto, so it's nice, mate.
Is that? What
What did we have last night?
dinner for last? What did you have last night?
Enchiladas, Mexican.
You made that, Carol?
Aye, she's very
Chinese?
good. She's good.
What did
What, you got a Chinese in?
Did
Aye.
What was your
On a
Chinese?
Thursday? You're
that.
mental.
Szechuan beef.
Oh, nice.
And the way
Boiled or fried rice?
No.
Where'd you get it
Come
from?
on.
Because I know.
Young.
Where?
Youngs.
Right.
Chips?
Salt and chili chips.
Salt.
Oh!
Noodles.
I'm starving.
I could go that right now, man. Do
you wanna go for
I'm going to go to that chippy under that bridge. It opens at 8 in the morning. You seen it? There's a pub on one side that opens at 8, the chippy across the road opens at
What
8.
time do pubs opening now?
That pub opens at 8 o'clock, as long as you get a roll with your pint. His dad used to drink that, didn't
McKinnon's.
Right, next Thursday.
he? We know a game at the weekend, I'll come out with
Right, let's do it.
you. Right.
Here's another cracker.
Can't wait, mate.
I broke
There you go.
Motherwell.
Oh.
Horrible. Imagine Arbroath tomorrow.
No, I'm going to go with.
Maybe a
Faddy.
fat game.
I'm going to go with a broth.
Might go.
No, I was like,
Might go. Might
No.
be a fat game.
aye, because of the weather. It could be like a
be
broth
on.
of no hit the heights obviously of last season. Motherwell,
I think Dick Buck he gets up for these games, doesn't he?
so I'm going to
I'm
go.
cold even thinking about that game. You
Tough.
played at Arbroath?
Oh,
Aye.
played.
Alex
Games
Gordon,
cancelled there. The waves crashing over the wall and all that. Place flooded. Aye, it's like
It's worse when you're actually.
that's a game for a
See,
hairy
what
arse
you
man.
go, It's going to be alright, and then the wind kicks in, and
Aye,
it's cold.
That's a game for what hairy arse men?
aye. Living gyms up there by the way.
Jim, he'd love that Arbroath.
So it would. Motherwell. It'll be tough, Motherwell, but Motherwell will win that.
Can I ask Hibs and Hearts?
Aye.
Did you speak about that? Hibs and Hearts.
Jambos. Going with Jambos again. It's like they're flying at the minute. Confidence oozing out them. Hibs up and down. So you don't know quite what you're getting. So going with recent form. I've gone with the Jambos.
Elgin City versus Drumchapel.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
half. Don't even ask that because that's half. That's half. I'm calling that half now. I made that decision. What about that Livingston the other night? 3 o'clock pitch inspection and they pass it. You know, look at the weather. It's -2 at 5 o'clock at night. I turned around to the pole dancer and said to him, I says, that game will be off.
But it's extra tough. How can the games be off?
What?
It's extra tough.
I know, but it freezes up. doesn't it?
theirs
And
might
it's
be off.
in the-
Theirs will be off
Astro-
tonight, mate.
You
the
can
Astro-
tweet it.
Hamilton's been put off. Livingston's been off. I'm trying to think of that.
Good these all
Astro-
weather pitches, isn't they?
Aye.
When it's cold.
So that game will be off. That's no one.
Right,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
get you another one then. No, what, I'll get another one.
Elgin's pitch is quite
Played on that.
off. I always had a
That's
shocker
something
at
doing,
Elgin.
isn't it?
mate.
It's like,
Always had
I
a
played
shocker
a
at
game,
Elgin.
one of the kind of all Crocs games, and we had a few the night before. I had to chuck it at half time. I was seeing 3 by.
Did you have a certain pitch that you always had a shocker on? Mine was Elgin. 7 year at Peterhead, never had a good game at Elgin.
No, there's no one that kind of.
That you dreaded playing on there.
No, not really. I liked it. I even liked playing at Albion Rovers.
Did you?
Times that, it didn't bother
I
me.
didn't mind Albion over
I
there.
didn't bother me.
Inverness Queen's Park.
And that'll be half an hour. That's
Half an
half.
hour.
Right.
Right, get another
Let's just call it. It's half an hour.
Stenhouse,
It's about
Livingston.
2 foot of snow up there now.
Steny Levy.
Steny Levy.
That'll be
That's
a-
half an hour. That's so tough. And that's no going to
Go
do
to
it.
St Johnstone Rangers.
St Johnstone Rangers.
That's half of it.
That's on.
I'll go with Rangers. Aye.
Yeah, what a cute mate.
Right, Faddy, you ready? I've got my ones lined up for you. Cove United versus Ayr.
Cove United, who's that?
Cove Rangers versus Ayr United. I need my bed.
Yeah. United.
I think, yeah.
Aye.
St Mirren versus Dundee.
St Mirren.
Wow. I'm going to give you Alloa versus Falkirk.
Aye, that's a tough one.
Chipper.
That is.
Against his old club.
That's a
I
derby, isn't it?
need to go Alloa because big Kenny Brannigan will batter me. Alloa.
Seen Kenny up before the other day.
Alloa.
The big man.
Aye.
Don't mess with the big man.
Aye. I'm not going against
That's
Big
good.
Ken.
Big fucking Kenny, he'll sort you out.
Is he a hard bastard?
Fucking crazy man.
So hey,
Did you talk to his missus like that?
hey, Faddy, I took her Clydebank as a manager, and I wanted him to, he wasn't going to be my starting 11, but I wanted him to still be there, and I had to take him into the room, me and him myself. I was prepared for getting an absolute fucking battering, by the way, but couldn't believe it, how nice he was about it. Well, no night, but he like accepting, she's understand. But I thought, I'm getting in with the big man. He's going to fucking have me, and all that.
But
But
massive and all.
big jet, but hey,
His head's big enough.
gentleman, so he is.
Aye, yeah.
Kenneth Brannigan. Right, last one, this will be tough. Linlithgow Rose against Wraith Rovers.
That is a tough one. Who have you asked me?
Linlithgow Rose against Wraith Rovers.
Could go a fry
I'll
up.
go.
Big fry up, I could go.
A good team.
Could you?
I'll go for an upset. I'll go on Lithgow.
Will you, mate?
Aye. Go for an upset.
Wow. If you could eat anything right now and never put any calories on, so it was free food, what would you have? Right now?
I don't ever feel guilty about eating food.
Right, okay, what would you have right now?
Right now?
What could you go right now? I could go chips and curry sauce, fried rice,
could
one
you?
container.
I went for a wee croissant with ham and cheese before I came in here.
And
was
that,
in early, aye.
that's for your engineer, do you?
Aye.
That was nice to ask us if we wanted one, eh?
Brilliant.
I was here early. I was here at 9:30, so I thought I may as well go and get wee
Enjoy
coffee
yourself.
something.
Pie, beans and wee sausages. There you go.
So pie,
Pie.
and also sausages?
Well,
No, the beans with the sausages in
the
it.
beans with the wee sausages in it.
Oh, right.
No, just
What's
that.
in the pie, steak or mince?
Oh, just a thing, just a mince pie. Aye,
go
because
that,
it's normally
I had a
mince
Kelly
pie.
the other night of the game.
You're fucking good to yourself, aren't you? Fucking hell.
I just eat when I'm hungry. Sometimes I eat when I'm not hungry. I just eat.
What could you go fry up? As greasy as possible.
Oh, man.
Extra grease.
Fuck my head right in it.
Extra grease over the top.
Just fuck my head right in it.